Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports. Merry Christmas. We're going to be talking about the NFL slate on Christmas Day. We've got 3 games on board. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just want to make a point for you guys to see. I actually do have Christmas bling too. Jordy's not the only one. I am in the Christmas spirit, despite what some of you guys thought in the comments. But anyways, we're having a good time. We had a good day on Christmas Eve. We didn't get a sweep, but we missed one and we had one reboot. Other than that, it was a good time. Before we get into our picks, if you've never tried Prizepicks, use our promo code at the bottom of the screen and they'll double your first deposit up to $100. They're just going to match whatever you put on. So if you do put the full 100 on, you'll get 200 to play with. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We run a lot of different types of shows, and we try to get the videos up as soon as possible when we have our picks, so they don't get removed. So yeah, if you are subscribed and you have the notifications on, you'll be notified as soon as we drop our videos. And that's gonna pretty much do it. Other than, if you guys can do us a favor and just like the video, like you have been. You guys have been killing it. It's really helping us grow our channel in a hurry, and we really appreciate that. So if you appreciate what we're doing, if you could just like the video, that would be awesome. All right, let's go over our recap.
Let's do it. So
I went all 3 fantasy score props. I had David Njoku for over 12.5 fantasy score, and he went for 16.4. He ended up having 6 receptions, 44 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Kind of played out exactly like I was imagining. I'm telling you, Joe Flacco has been killing it, and he loves Njoku, and my God, he took good care of Amari Cooper today. So yeah, he's been killing it. He's actually, because of all the injuries I've sustained, he's my quarterback in the semifinals of our Dynasty League. And it's looking like Jordy and I are both going to be advancing and battling each other in the championship. And I will be starting Joe Flacco. So y'all going to have to pray for me if I make it through this round. I shouldn't even be here. Like, I've been telling you guys way back when, I'm not mathematically out. There was you guys have been through this whole journey of me even just sneaking into playoffs, and now I'm maybe going to the championship to face Jordy. But anyways, Njoku, yeah, he cashed 16.4 fantasy points. Jordan Addison, I took for over 11.5 fantasy score as well. Unfortunately, he got injured. He hurt his ankle in the second quarter, and we got the reboot there. It sucks because he's also on my dynasty team. So I hope he's okay, but at least we got the reboot and it didn't happen in the second half. And then my favorite play of the day was James Conner, over 9.5 fantasy score. I had some people kind of saying that they were taking the under on this one. I'm telling, just like I had said in the video, and I'm not gloating here. I'm just, I really felt good about that prop. 9.5 fantasy score. I was telling you guys that his projection on half point PPR for sleeper was just under 12. So I don't know. I would not have messed around with taking that under, but he ended up going for 15.6 fantasy points. He crushed it. He had this cashed in the first half. He ended up going for 42 rushing yards, 2 receptions for 34 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. And he helped me potentially advance. So yeah, other than the reboot, we had some success today on my end. What about you, Jordy?
Yeah. So I took Mike Evans for over 4.5 receptions. Like I was saying, that line was just really silly. Mike Evans is a stud. He carried me hard today. My team performed pretty well in fantasy, so he was just the cherry on the top. He had 30 fantasy points, but he went for 7 receptions, and he had almost 200 yards receiving, I think, with 2 touchdowns. Just a monster day. But we also took Levante David for over 7.5 tackles. I told you guys I felt really good about this one. He is their leading tackler on their team, and he had 8, so he just barely got it done for us, but we hit on that one. And then we also took Jordan Whitehead, the safety for the Jets, to go over 5.5 tackles and assists, and he had 4. But if you guys watched that game, that game was chaotic. I mean, they for like the first 2 quarters, the Jets did nothing but absolutely rob them of any sort of Christmas joy they could have been having that day. They scored on defense like twice right off the get. They had like a strip sack fumble, an interception, like a blocked punt, like all sorts of crazy chaotic stuff. So a lot of time got soaked up by just silly plays. So I think he would have hit this if that didn't happen. So just some football things that happen sometimes, but I felt pretty good about him, and that's unfortunate. But what did we end up going, like 5 or 4 for 4 out of 5? So not a bad
4
day.
out of 5.
Missed on 1.
No.
So
Yeah, and like we always say, mix and match them.
Yeah.
You don't always have to, like, we pretty much mostly do 6-man slips. Run some 5s, run some 4s. I rarely ever do anything lower than that, but it's all about your preference, what you're into, but I will definitely make multiple, like if I take our sets of picks, I'll usually make a slip of all of our picks, and then I'll mix and match them across other 5 and 6-man slips, with other options as well. But play them however you like. We're just having fun. We want you guys to have fun too, and you never have to just take the plays. We're just showing you what we're getting into. But all right, so let's get into our plays. We've got 2 each for you tonight, and I'm going back to fantasy score. I just, I'm going to give you guys what I think is the most exciting. Like I said, fantasy score is the only category where it's kind of like a PRA type option. The closest thing we have to like a PRA, like if you play basketball, there's not a PRA really for the NFL. So I like fantasy score sometimes because you just have more opportunity there with the reception, the receiving yards, and the touchdown potential, and the points per reception. Like, there's just a lot that I like about it. But anyways, that's kind of what is sticking out on the board to me today. So to get me started, I'm going to be going with Isaiah Likely. I like him to go over 9. He's been playing great. You can just ask Jordy. He's on his dynasty team.
Oh yeah.
But we got last 2 games. He went for 19.3 fantasy points, and then 18 against Jacksonville. And I think that he is in a great matchup, believe it or not, against San Francisco here. Somebody taking him for more. Let's take a look at this over-under. All right. So we have an over-under of 46.5, with the Niners favored by just 1 touchdown, just 6 points. So I think it should be a good game. We got 2 good defenses and 2 good offenses. This should be a lot of fun. So if we take a look at what he's done in those last 2 games, he's averaging 6.5 targets and turning that into 5 receptions. So great catch rate there, averaging 76.5 yards per game and a touchdown per game. So this is looking great as far as his averages go. And then if we take a look at the 49ers, what they're allowing on average, they've been a little bit stingy through a decent part of the year, but they've been kind of opening things up a little bit. If you look at what the Seahawks were able to do to them, 5 receptions for 66 yards and a touchdown. And if you look at what Trey McBride did to them last week, 15 receptions for 172 yards and a touchdown. And they're going to be kind of in that position. He likely has proven that he is honestly kind of interchangeable with Mark Andrews. He's and in some ways, I think he's even better because he seems a little bit more athletic, a little faster. I'm a big fan of Mark Andrews still, but I'm just saying Isaiah Likely is fitting right in with Lamar, and he's been going to him a lot lately. So with what the Niners have been giving up lately, I really like this to go over. And especially like we talked about, 9 is just so low. When you get a full point for every reception, that adds up really quick. It goes a long way. So I like him to go over. And I'm actually going to the same team here. I'm going to be going with Justin Tucker, fantasy score, not kicking points, not field goals. I like the fantasy score because this dude can boot it from far away. You know, he can knock them in from like 50 yards, no problem. And I think going up against this defense, there's going to be a lot of situations where the Ravens will really be able to battle and get into the red zone. But I think there's going to be a lot of situations where they're like, just getting into that red zone area, and the 49ers are going to like hold them out for, 3 downs, and they're going to just give it to Tucker to put it in like they have been. He's only missed this once in his last 5 weeks, and he's been going well over this. 7.5 is just so low. His kicking points alone, I think, was at like maybe 6.5 or something. Like, so I just like the fantasy score here because if he goes for a 50-yard field goal, that's 5 points right there. So that's again why I like fantasy score sometimes for Prizepicks. If we take a look here at what he's been doing in those last 4 games, he's averaging just barely under 3 attempts per game and going for about 2.5 on his success rate. And he's been kicking it from pretty far away on some of these. And I mean, he's the greatest kicker of all time. You guys, I don't have to keep going on and on about Justin Tucker. I just think this is a perfect matchup against a defense who can kind of keep them out of the red zone at least enough times for him to, like, 240 yarders, 250 yarders. He's got this in the bag. If they get a couple extra points, I just think the combination, this is so low. I'm definitely going to be playing this in multiple slips tomorrow. And excuse me, I don't believe I needed to go to daily grind for anything. We do have Isaiah Likely here. His fantasy score is kind of, they have it at sort of 50-50. But again, this is kind of like the James Conner play to me. I just feel really good about the way he's been utilized lately. And so I'll be taking it for over. And those are my 2. What do you got for us, Jordy?
Yeah. So to get me started here, I'm going to be going with a receptions prop. I'm going right back to Devontae Smith in this matchup here for over 4.5. I've brought this up a lot, and this play has been hitting week after week for me, and it's just because he's a solid receiver for them, and this is not juiced to go over, so I'm going to warn you of that now. But I don't understand why, because if we look at the targeting share here, he's second in targets. So obviously he's going to be getting a huge amount of the target share, 26 or 23% of the target share. He's getting about 7.3 targets a game, and he's converting 5 of those. So 5 receptions is what we're looking for here. We don't have to be too smart to do the math on that. And if you look over here for the defense, receptions allowed by the New York Giants, they're giving up the 27th worst, and they're giving up 14.2 a game. We just need 5 of those, right? So it's like not too crazy. Make sure there's nothing crazy on the injury report here. So these are all the things I look for with these plays. And he's gone over this in 7 out of 10 games. He's super consistent when it comes to this. He didn't go over against Dallas, not a shocker. Didn't go over against Miami. That's kind of a weird one, but anyway, I just like this matchup. It's not a super tough one by any means. So last year when they played them in 2 back-to-back games, and he went in those 2 games, he went for 7 receptions and 8 receptions in those 2 games. So he's had a history of kind of torching the Giants, and I just like him to go over this one. So they're going to play the Giants 2 times here at the last stretch of their season, so I think he's going to start off hot against them, and I'm just rolling the dice on this one. So if you don't like it, don't take it, but I feel really good about this one, and I'm going to be going more on that one. And then my next play here, I'm going with Trent McDuffie to go over 3.5 tackles and assists. I'm a big fan of tackle assist props. They hit for me probably more than any other prop I play. I'm going to be honest, because these guys are just consistent. They're flying around. They have to get tackles, or else they're going to get benched. Like, their job is way more on the line than like a star receiver who can afford to have a bad night. Trent McDuffie's amazing. He's a great cornerback. He's gone over this 7 out of 10 times, and you can see he's a good tackler. He went for 11 in one game, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6. We just need him for 4. He's averaging 5.3 defensive targets a game. So if you guys know how this works, this basically means how many opportunities he has to tackle in the game. So plenty of opportunities for him to get this done. They're going to be playing the Raiders. It's going to be a freaking awesome game. I can't wait to watch this one. You can see that they're giving up against cornerbacks. They're giving up about 7.9 tackles a game and 2.1 assists. So he's going to have opportunities. If Josh Jacobs plays, I like this even more. He's questionable in this game, but if he plays, they're going to run the ball more. So I think he's going to have more opportunities to get more tackles, but this is a minus 130. If we look over here on DG, let me just pull them up real quick. You can see it's a minus 120 across the board to go over. Caesars has it at a minus 131, but I feel really comfortable with this. It's just almost a 51% chance to go over, but I feel really good about it. Trent McDuffie's a heck of a player, so I like this one to go over as well, and that's the two I've got.
Great. Yeah, so that's the 4 we're rolling with. Just a little bit more news about Isaiah Likely. We do have Zay Flowers listed as questionable with a foot. He's dealing with something with his foot, but I actually, he's supposed to play. He's on pace to play. They said that, we won't really know much until about 90 minutes before the game. I hope he plays, and I hope he's super active, because I think that that'll be better for Likely. We have 2 scenarios there. We either have Flowers being another distraction for the 49ers to focus on opening up Likely a little bit more, or if Flowers doesn't play, I don't really see that as a huge negative, because then that's, we still got OBJ and Bateman, but I think that would actually just funnel more looks Likely's way. So either way, I feel comfortable with taking the play. So just a little note there, we do have Flowers just slightly questionable, but I think he'll end up playing. But yeah, so that's the 4 we're rolling with, guys. And we will have more picks in our Discord if you're interested in checking it out. We'll be in there pretty much all day, bouncing in and out. Whenever we find good plays, Jordy and I, and then we've got 2 other analysts in there. Whenever we find good plays, we just throw them right into the Discord and let everybody in the Discord know why we like them. And we also, pretty much every time we make slips, we have a section in our Discord where we share the link to the slips, so people can copy and use those as well if they'd like. And the whole community of people doing that in there. So check it out if you're interested. And also, if you're interested in checking out the fantasy tools from our partner, Daily Grind, they're giving all of our viewers 25% off. It's been an awesome tool for us. We're going to be using that correlation tool tomorrow for sure. It's a tool that essentially gathers data on, plays that are likely to hit, and then it has ways of correlating what other plays would probably hit along with your play hitting. And they build you out 6-man slips. We've had some success already with that. It's just a lot of fun. You just go in there, you see what the correlation tool has, you throw $5 at it, and however much you like. But I just love just throwing a little 5 here and there at it with the correlation tool. Super cool. And the DFS optimizer. There's all sorts of cool tools. But yeah, they'll give you 25% off if you just use code BACKDOOR. There's a link in the description of the video. So if you're interested in that, check that out. And otherwise, guys, we hope you have a Merry Christmas. It's been a lot of fun doing these holiday episodes with you guys, and we wish you the best of luck, and we will catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys. Merry Christmas.